Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside Cornerstone. Hey, we've had a fun intro to this show. This is going to be full of probably a lot of jokes.
Do you remember Mary Poppins?
I do.
The guy that laughed all the time.
Oh yeah,
I love to laugh.
Yeah, and didn't he go up in the ceiling? He laughed so much.
He floated.
We may float.
That's what we've been doing.
We have to laugh a lot for us to float. But anyway, we want to welcome everybody in. And again, we do want to entertain everybody and tell everybody, look, this is a fun show, and it has been fun prior to us going on there, but we're on there now.
Let it be said, Christians can have fun.
In a little bit,
Christians can have fun too.
And we can. Hey, look, we want everybody to have fun when they watch our show, and that's the whole gist. And again, we come to you every week from Alexander City and our church, Cornerstone First Global Methodist here in Alexander City. You can keep up with us on our website, and I noticed a few things about our. We're gonna say the good with the bad. We got some things we got to work on our website. I even had some people say, "Hey, I went to that page and it's still under construction." So I wanted to make a note. Yeah.
Well,
so
you're actually looking at me.
I wasn't expecting you to fix it. But we got people that I know that can fix it. So, but we do have, and so we appreciate that. I meant to say that in the fact that I had people reach out and say, hey, there's a couple of things on the website that need to be updated or made. And so, yes, we don't know that a lot of times unless you relay the message, or maybe we weren't aware of that. So we want you to be informed as possible. Our Facebook page as well. Social media is very big for what we do as far as our message being put out there every week. And so you can go back and watch our services, whether it be the Arbor or the traditional service, each and every week. You can watch them live, or you can watch them whenever you want to watch them, because they're archived there. So you can go back and if you missed a service, you can go back and watch it. So it's very, very good. Hey, I actually was in Auburn today, and I talked to Brother Chet Williams on the phone. Going to go meet with him next week. But anyway, we were just in conversation, and kind of rambling here to start the show, but I've got something I'm going somewhere with it. But in conversation, he was like, "Hey, you guys did that Project 412 this summer," and I said, "Yes, sir." And because he works for the football team, he's been part of the pro. So he was just like, man, he was just being complimentary of
he's a good guy.
Of what we did up here, and he and Stephen Yerke are friends, and Stephen.
I know Chet well.
So and
he's had some tough things happen in his life.
He has, and but I'm actually going to go down and meet with him next week, and he invited me to his office, and we'll share a little bit of time together. But just thought that that was great for us as a church to people watch, people know. About what we do here now. It goes beyond, and that's part of what this program is for. We want this to be like a mission. We want this to be part of our ministry that reaches other communities and other people, and always an open invitation for people to come to our church.
Chet is a Fellowship of Christian Athletes guy, and we have a board here for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. You know about Legacy Builders.
Oh, yeah.
October is FCA month, where we will spend the whole month talking about possible donations that we will make to FCA. And we got some things going on through FCA. It's a great organization. And, Chet has been there a long time. And he's been through some tough times.
Yes.
And he's been a real example for those young men. There's a lot of guys that will mention Brother Chet to you when you talk to him.
Absolutely. He and I were talking for a little bit. He's been at Auburn since '99. He and I literally missed each other by a few months. I graduated Auburn in 1999. I'm trying to tell him my age there. But graduated Auburn in '99, and he came in the fall of I graduated summer of '99. He came in the fall of '99.
Coach Tuberville.
He did. He came with Coach Tuberville, and in '04 really came on the scene with Fighting Soldiers, the book he wrote.
I've got it. It's good.
Right. And so he really expanded and helped start a chaplain service at other SEC
Several,
schools.
all across the country, you have FCA leaders at athletic departments that were trained at Auburn University. So you just gotta take your hat off to that program.
That's
It's great.
That's a good thing to be noted for.
Yeah.
As a training.
Because you got to learn somewhere.
Right. And who better to learn from?
And again,
than Chet?
Coach Tuberville, and we've got some great Christian coaches out there, and Coach Tuberville is one that was helped make that happen. And
right.
And there's a lot of them. You got Dabo up at Clemson, and SCA is still strong all over this country, and thank goodness, Brett, because we're in a time now that we need that kind of influence, and especially on our young people. I mean, today you look at
it's hard to watch any kind of
very
newscast
hard.
or
Yeah.
anything related to social media, and there's just so much animosity built up in society right now, and
in the world,
right,
certainly
well,
in this country,
but
in the world too.
I'm concerned with the world, but
That's
I'm more
right.
concerned
Definitely
with your back porch and your front
Right.
porch first, and then in this country,
Right.
we just got a lot of hate rhetoric out there from a lot of people. It doesn't necessarily have to go down a Democrat or Republican line. It's just it feels like a lot of hate in society, and it starts with young people being raised in the right temperament and in the right environments. And again, I think
that's going to be the theme of the messages this Sunday. What we're talking about, legacy builders. You hear me say that a lot. And the Green Street message is going to be called Legacy Builders.
Well, since we're talking about Chet, and I didn't really anticipate talking about him that much, he'd be a great person to have on the show. And hopefully, so next week I'm gonna invite him to be part of the show one day, and just hear maybe his story for people that maybe haven't heard, about him and who he was, and and I can respect the work he's done in a in a secular society, in college athletics, where sometimes the spiritual part gets pushed to the back burner. He's made it a priority at Auburn, and kudos to the administration, multiple administrations since he's been there. He's been there 25 years. Kudos to multiple administrations at Auburn for letting him do his thing.
Yeah, we had one coach there at Auburn that I was a little concerned about, but I think he got the message about the kind of person Chet was. Every coach should want someone like Chet Williams helping. And I know Coach Tuberville called him, you got the offensive coordinator.
Right.
He's a spiritual coordinator.
Right.
And I thought that was clever, and that was a great way of looking at it.
Well, and so many of those players look up to him. And, it's comforting, I guess, for a lot of parents that their kid's far away from home, and they have that knowledge of knowing there's people in that program that are going to look out for their best interest. And, college athletes are no different than a regular college student that age. They have ups and downs.
That's right.
And then maybe they have more because they're under a microscope, and everything that they do and the way they perform on the field, fans can be really brutal. And at the end of the day, they are still a college kid, no matter how much things have changed as far as finances and, NIL and transfer portal and all that. They still are, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, a lot of them. And they go back to their dorm room at night or their apartment, and they're trying to process all the stuff that's being said about them. So it can be, even though you're in the spotlight, you can feel kind of, it can become a lonely situation for all those kids.
Do you recall the interview with I believe it was Oklahoma, the three softball girls from Oklahoma,
Right.
And the commentator, which we're not going to get into that, but holds it up to one and said, "What do you say, today?" And said, "I give thanks to Jesus Christ." And she quickly goes to the next person and says, "What's your thoughts on it?" And said, "Well, I just want to praise God and thank Him." And when she went to the third, finally she said, "Back to you."
That was after the College World Series.
You remember that?
Oh, I absolutely.
Well, that's FCA working on campuses. And it's not highly accepted today in our media and in in places in our country, but there's FCA. They're still plugging. They're still lifting up Christ and making a difference.
I've got a question I want to ask you when we come back from break.
I love that.
I want your take on it. I mean, I think a lot of people like it when we bring up topics, and I had somebody approach me in a conversation the other day, and they asked me, or they didn't really ask a question, it was their opinion that this is the way things are now. So I'll talk to you about it.
Oh, I'd love to.
All right,
and we're
so-
not going to be laughing like crazy.
No, well, we could.
When you come back
No,
home. I'm
we-
sorry
yeah,
about
we
that.
could.
But
There's-
carrier pigeons just make me laugh. I don't know exactly what the deal.
Especially if
I'll
they-
find out
Well,
what it
especially if
is.
they explode.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's
we're
right.
going to go to break. We come back. We'll have more to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett.
Billy?
And I'm Matt.
And we want you to join us each week for Inside Cornerstone. Coach, Matt, excited to have this show on every single day throughout the week leading up to Sunday.
Jesus Christ is going to be glorified in everything we do. You won't just be listening to messages. You're going to be hearing about things going on at our church.
And make sure you join us at our worship services 9 and 11 o'clock.
Join us each week right here on Inside Cornerstone on WAXC TV.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone, your weekly look at everything going on at our church here in Alexander City. I told you, Coach, that I wanted to, ask you a question and just get your take on this. But I had somebody, we were in a conversation this week and about multiple things in society and all, and we were talking about the animosity and, the rhetoric that's going around and where a lot of that stems from. And one of the guys that was in the conversation with me said, well, I just simply think America is just not as religious as it used to be at one time. And so that was a broad statement. And, so you start thinking about what goes into that. And, you start doing a little research and doing some numbers. But, part of me, just from the surface, would tend to agree with him on that, because you don't see, I guess, from a younger standpoint, we see the kids that we're around, and but that's a small sample size. And again, it's about what goes on inside the house, and aren't as many families talking about Christ and making it a priority to talk about, Christianity and what it's like to be a Christian, as we had, just say, even 50 years ago. Because I'll use myself as an example. I didn't go to daycare growing up. I was blessed to be able to stay with my grandmother for those years, preschool years, and then I went to kindergarten. But very religious family, and we read the Bible together. And that was something that we did as I was growing up. So I was exposed at a very young age. Sure. And I didn't know any different.
So it's supposed to
Well,
be.
I didn't know any different. And we were in church growing up. My family, we were, I grew up going to, Jackson's Gap Baptist, and then we went to Wayside Baptist. And I was in church my entire life, and then moved over to First United Methodist when I was in high school, and still there today now with Global. And so I've been in church my whole life. And how many families are making that a priority? It's a good point that I thought he brought up, but we don't like to just throw things out there without factual backup. And I found some facts and on here, and I'll get your take on this, but it says, if you're wondering, 77% of Americans aged 65 and over identify as Christians, while only 55% of Americans aged 18 to 29 identify as Christian. So there is a lesser percentage based on that stat.
Well, this is a very difficult subject, because there's an element in this country, and it originates, unfortunately, at some of the more leadership levels in our country, to try to take Christianity out of the American dialogue.
Well, Christianity's been under attack from all phases, and so.
Do you remember the Sunday when I read, I think it was 12 of our forefathers, 6 presidents,
right.
Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and they were quotes from them, and every one of them had Jesus Christ in it.
Right.
And it showed that all of them had a deep faith in Christ. Well, that's not what you read. Read now. They will tell you that they were agnostics, that some of them were atheists, and that they weren't really committed to that. Brett, this is scary stuff. I don't like to really talk about it, in this setting, because I'm positive. I want to look at things on the bright side. But there are people trying to change our history. I know this for a fact, being in education.
Agree.
They're trying to convince our children. And I tell you what, that statistic's going to continue to go down. You said, I think you said 18 to 29.
The 18 to 29 is 55%.
Then it's going to go down to the 10 through 6. Then it's going to go down to the 5 through 10. They're trying to infiltrate our country. A coach gets on his knees in California 30 yards from his team that is praying the Lord's Prayer in the middle of, you can't do anything about that.
Right.
Those kids can do that. This guy didn't pray out loud.
Did it to
He
him?
got on his knees and prayed silently 30 yards from where his team was, and he got fired. He got fired from his job because he did that in an educational setting. I've butted heads with this element. They're rich, they're smart. What about the college professors? We look at all the garbage that's going on on our college campuses today. And we say, well, where's Christ in all of this? And you notice there's no efforts to stop them to do what they're doing. They're burning our own flag. And atheist professors, they're teaching our kids that we're smarter than God. And this whole thing. We had a president about 15 years ago say the United States of America is no longer a Christian nation. All I know is what we experienced.
Didn't we try to take the word Christmas out a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Well, what
And when I
about
say we, the government.
yeah? What about one nation under God?
Yeah,
Let's
I
take
mean,
that out.
well-
I mean,
Well, they changed the quarter, didn't they?
yeah. Oh yeah.
mean,
now we're facing away from in God we trust.
That's exactly right.
Instead
The
of
term
towards it.
George Washington said. All of these things are subtle
They're subtle.
jabs, but
They're highly organized.
but they are, and,
Yeah.
and they're orchestrated.
Right.
And just like Christianity's under attack, freedom of speech is under attack
Yeah.
in this country. And again, it's not freedom of speech is not a privilege; it's a right. It's written there. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
It's in the Bill of Rights. Look, when you look at these statistics, what is the easiest way to make these stats go down even more? Well, make it very difficult for kids to have access or to be exposed to Christianity and to have and to take it out of everything that we do. So again, like you said, with the changing of history, with the changing of the way things are done in educational settings and in certain organizations throughout society, well, you just delete it. And that's the answer for a lot of these pundits out there that don't want Christianity to prevail. They just don't expose the kids. So again, it comes back, but it does come back to me it comes back to family.
Of
It
course.
comes back to what is being taught, not just Christianity, but what is being taught to kids inside their houses. And look, every house isn't the same. Every family, every child doesn't have a mother and a father figure. Let's just be honest.
But
about that.
every house has a TV set.
Absolutely.
And you can turn it on, and these very things we're talking about come right into the home. Every home in this country gets the propaganda that's coming from what we just talked about through our TV sets.
Well, again, like to document where information comes from. This comes from the Pew Research Center. In 2020, 65%, it said 65% of adults in the United States identified as Christians. That was 75% in 2015. So it was a 10% drop there. It was a 70% rate in 2014, so it went up a little bit. In 2012, it was at 78%. In 2001, it was 81%. And in 1990, 85% of the adults in the
I've seen
United
those
States
stats, yeah.
identified as Christian. So if you want to go from 1990 to 2020, when this research was done, you went from 85% to 65%. You 20% less now. So numbers, again, I'm a numbers guy. I'm a sports guy.
Yeah.
Your numbers kind of drive the data. That's a decline. No other way to spin
And
it.
that's factual, absolutely.
And
But, I love the fact that America is a country that welcomes all faiths. I absolutely do. You can come from anywhere in the world, and I would like for you, if you to consider coming legally, but if you come into this country, you can worship any faith that you want to. Christians can go in some parts of the world and they get killed for it.
Right.
But here in America, we welcome that. But at the same time, we are a nation that proclaims Christianity, wouldn't you say?
No doubt.
And so I don't think that we should exclude
And I will-
Christianity to appease, all the other religious groups. We can't even wear crosses in some schools around our neck because it's a symbol of Christianity and Jesus Christ. It's in the dang dress code that you can't wear anything. You can't wear a T-shirt that talks about Christ in many of our schools in this country.
Again, to me, that's an assault on individual freedom.
Equal rights, yeah.
If it's not repulsive and derogatory, you should be able to wear, whatever. And if you're not forcing something down somebody's throat, I will say this about the demographics or the breakdown of Christians in this country. The South, where we live, is still heavily. So when we don't see in the South a lot of where these numbers are declining.
That's right.
The numbers don't really in the South show a decline, but in other parts of the country, they've dropped tremendously. That's a that's an overall number. So you've really had a 20% decline since 1990, but maybe in the South it's been stable.
Brett, when the atheists attacked our school system in Coleman, you know how many people showed up that day? We had our prayer event. 30,000 people. Man, I'm going to tell you something. It aroused. The churches were full that weekend. I mean, you're right. In the South, now we have our thing. We have our rivalries, and something we're not perfect. Absolutely not. But when you come down here and start telling us that we can't read our Bibles and that we can't proclaim Christ as our Savior in public settings, they're not. People are going to get. That's going to upset people, and it should. It should upset them.
One last stat before we go to break: weekly church attendance by state. I thought this was very. This is percentage.
Okay.
Number one in the states, and then number one in the country is Utah, 51%.
Well, we kind of know where that's
right.
going.
Mississippi's second with 47%, and Alabama's third with 46%, tied with Louisiana.
We're always Alabama, Mississippi are always.
But this is a good stat.
It's a good stat, yeah.
Usually it's not a good stat.
It's a good
but
stat.
You got Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky,
Who's
North
that?
Carolina, and Georgia all make up the top 10. And so that's the top 10.
I'm proud
in
of
weekly.
that. That's great.
The lowest attended per week, Vermont, 17%.
Really?
Yeah.
Vermont, huh?
So interesting facts there.
Well, that one would have fooled me.
Right, you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have gotten that one in a trivia question, right?
No. Not at all.
All right, so we're going to take a break. Stay tuned.
Do we have to? Because I love this.
We have to,
subject.
yes.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone. I need to make sure I read the right stats off from my phone might blow up.
Man,
I hate to make light of that.
this has
but that-
been so much fun.
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
love what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope.
Because
again,
everybody that watches, there's an opportunity to think about it. I mean, we're not sitting here promoting Cornerstone. We'd love for you to come, but we're talking about things that are on people's minds.
Look, being on TV for 25 years and doing a sports show, you want to deliver something, no matter what the show is, you want to deliver something that has meaning, that people will get something out of, substantive. And look, this to me is very interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that talking about why things maybe are the way they are in our society right now ties directly back to a decline in, and this was brought up through a conversation I had earlier in the week with somebody saying, look, I just don't think we're as religious as we used to be in this country. And so when you start looking at facts, and again, you have to be careful with, everybody's got a fact sheet out there now, but you have to go and do the research on your own and see where things have been done, in the correct way. And you look at it and you say, well, since 1990, which was not that long ago,
Can I respond to that?
sure.
Well, here's what I say about that. There's a lot of things that we can't do, and we can't go to 5 million churches out there in the United States, but we can go to our church. So I'm going to say, to answer that question, what's going on at your church? What's going on at our church? If Christ is being lifted up and being glorified and the scripture is being followed, that's all we can control. I can't. Well, we can't be concerned. We're concerned, but we can't do anything about the rest of the country.
Well, we talk
but if
about-
everybody would do their own church and go from there.
Well, look, we talk about this in our community all the time, and I don't have the numbers on this, but I think you did at one time. Maybe you can give us this fact.
Yeah.
How many people in this community don't know Christ and don't go to church?
That's the ultimate question.
Well,
Absolutely.
Again, so we live in a community that has about 18,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's not a massive city, but it's not a small city either. You got 18,000 people. I don't know what the number is, but I can go around to all the different churches and we can get their average weekly attendance like we did on this, and we can do
being a
the
Christian is
numbers.
not defined as going to church.
It's not.
Accepting Jesus Christ as your
Correct.
Savior.
But how many people
Right.
in our community aren't exposed to Christ and aren't members, are not going to church on a regular basis?
And we can do something about that.
Right. So
Right, I
there
agree
are
with you.
plenty of opportunities for all of us in all these communities. So we have outreach projects that we are part of that we see
Sure.
throughout the year, and we have open invitations. But are we
Mm-hmm.
really putting boots on the ground to go invite people to come and feel? Because look, there's always room.
Mm-hmm.
You can always add one more chair. You can always add, more space to have somebody come in. And again, it's not just a national problem. It starts in these individual communities and,
Sure.
and spider webs out from there.
What can we do?
Right. So again, unfortunately, that's not a number that we wanted to read off, but it's reality. And I think it does have a direct correlation to what we're seeing in our society now, is that we don't see maybe as many younger people being exposed to Christ as once happened. Maybe although if we wanted to go back to the 1950s, in the 1960s, I would say that the average family, maybe talked about Jesus and made Christianity a priority. Not as much as today. Again, that's all speculative, but when I look at the fact sheet, there's a correlation there.
Yes.
You can tie it in together. So you know, again, all we can do is reach
Sorry.
out. All we can do is reach out.
That's
you
all
know,
we can do. But we need to do what we can do.
And that's what
for sure.
this show is for. Again,
Right.
we want to deliver something. It's not necessarily just us up here talking about what we have going on in our church. You know, we're about to do that because we're about.
We
to be
need
out
to
of-
do
We're
that.
about to be out of time because we're gonna have a clip.
All right, I'm on page with you now.
So,
Yeah, all right, here we go.
so we've got a lot going on in our church. We've got Youth Week coming up.
Children's Sabbath
yeah.
is what that's called.
Right,
yes.
that's coming up. So talk about that.
Well, the children will have taking place, they're taking up collections, saying the prayers, taking the adults' place.
Running the
We're
circle.
going to actually have an adult minute instead of a children's minute.
Right.
We're
Do I
going to
get
have
to come down?
one of the young people. What now?
Do I get to come down?
You could if you wanted to, Brett, but you know you can stay in your seat either way. But we'll have one of the children
I think
giving
you
that
just pretty
to
much
us.
told me I couldn't come down.
Kind of. They'll sing for us, that kind of thing. Both of the messages are going to be related to children. So we're going to have them in both services, by the way, Green Street at the usual times, but we're going to have services that kind of highlight, and you know, what the most precious possession we have in our country, in our communities, in our churches are our children. And we have tons of them. And I'm reminded every day when I walk around the campus up there at Cornerstone, my goodness, so many wonderful kids.
We got to get back on site. We haven't. It's been a minute since we were on location
Yeah.
at Cornerstone. So
do.
maybe
we might meet in the Ascend
they
building.
could do that.
We'll see about
Well, we need to
that.
get it. We need to get it
Yeah.
up to par.
We got a prayer walk coming in October, where we're going to be. That might be in early November. We're going to be walking around and praying for all the different ministries in the
Right.
church. But we got that going on with. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff.
There's a
going
ton
on.
of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that, again, we go back to youth and children. They are a priority in our church, and I think they are the lifeblood of your church, and they're the future of your church. And you know, I hate to compare them or use an analogy like a crop, but you're cultivating them to come up and take other people's places
Absolutely.
as they grow. And
Jesus is very clear about what our responsibility is.
absolutely. You know, and I look down, I go to our I go to our Facebook page, and I look at the key events, exciting events coming up for fall and winter. I've already got a lot of things going on that are in the works. You know, we've got a golf tournament coming up on October the 9th. You got the youth going to Pope's Haunted Farm on October the 19th. You got
A fall festival.
right, a
thing.
cookout and a fishing trip on November the 3rd. You got Youth Thanksgiving meal on November 17th. It's crazy that we're already talking about that.
We talk about that every week.
You got our
It's nuts.
tailgate party on November 24th. You got a youth Christmas party coming up on December 8th. And then
Did you mention October 30th on a Wednesday, the day
did not.
before Halloween?
I did not.
Yeah, we're going to have a little fall festival Halloween type thing.
Nice. So
I mean, we got so much going
Well,
on, but it's all
are you
fun.
gonna wear that?
Well,
Are you gonna wear that shirt that you wore last?
No, I did. I don't. Was that what I wore that to?
I
don't know.
I think it was something like you were giving candy out. So I think it was Halloween.
But I'm going to check my.
I think that was trunk or treat. That's coming up
But
on a year.
I'm not wearing that, and I'm not
Good.
going to ever do that pose again because I'm going to check into the closest mental institution if it comes up on the screen.
You know, if you'd had a
What?
gun holster, it looked like you were about to
Quick
draw.
draw and draw
It
or
looked like you were
something?
about to draw. But
No, I was
you
not.
You didn't have a holster on. So, but anyway, yeah, hey, Kane, I think we're approaching the 1 year anniversary of that picture. So, we'll see.
Oh gosh!
I mean,
Look,
there. See,
best thing though, look what's written across the front of that.
right. It's not Reese's. It's
It just shows you that Jesus loves the decrepit. He loves the old and the senile and the awkward and the almost dead person. He loves them.
You're being way too harsh on yourself. You've been way too harsh.
No, not any
All right.
harsher than gets
right,
done.
So we've got more business to take care of before we get the light over here.
Drum roll.
Yeah, no, we talked about that last week. I want to talk about your message from Sunday before
Oh,
we go
yeah,
into
there's
we
that.
got the clip coming up. Can you preview that for everybody? Or do I need to send a carrier pigeon out? So
It's not anybody's
we are
fault.
running out of time though, because we got a clip to show here in the next segment. So people can just watch and they'll see.
Well, I know Never Ever Quit. That was in, I remember the Green Street service very good, but I'm still trying to think about it. Well, and the way we started with me, it was a dang picture that came up there. I mean, put the
I
picture
shouldn't have
up
brought it.
there.
I shouldn't have
Hey,
brought
did
it.
everybody get to see that? Just watching the show?
Yeah, they saw
That.
it. They just saw it.
Shoot. Really?
That's why I just ended the way it did. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to break, and you're gonna get to see the sermon. How about that? You didn't have much time to really talk about it anyway. Our time's up, by the way. Oh, we got to get out. All right, so we're going to take a break. Stay
What?
tuned. The sermon from this past Sunday, a clip of that's coming up right
And
after
good
this.
luck to the person that's going to replace me next week. Hope everything goes well.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Well, I think that we never get tired of hearing the miracles of Jesus. Most messages that are being given throughout the world today, when they revolve around a miracle, it gets our attention pretty well. Feeding 5,000 people and casting a spirit out of a son or bringing a young girl back to life again. The miracles of Jesus were signs that Jesus was the Messiah. But of all the miracles that are in the Bible, and there are a lot of them in the Old and the New Testament, I think none surpass the miracles of people receiving their sight. And the reason is that was a sign of the Messiah. Isaiah said twice, when talking about the Messiah, that the blind will receive their sight. So when people saw a miracle concerning blindness receiving sight, it was a special miracle, indicating that Jesus was the Messiah. And it's no reason, there's no reason not to think that that's why the Pharisees and scribes always challenged Jesus when he did that, because they certainly were fighting the thought that Jesus was the Messiah. And when people blind are receiving sight, that's a glorious thing. And that's the scripture that we talk about today. You know, there's another one along with Bartimaeus that comes out of the 9th chapter of John. It's about a man that was born blind. And the disciples asked the most logical question, Master, why was this man born blind? Was it his sins or the sins of his father? Because after all, if anybody was actually born blind, there had to be something that was done wrong. And Jesus said to them, and remember this a little later on, he said, neither was to blame. This man was born blind so that God could be glorified. And then he goes on to say, remember this, we've got to do the work while it's still day, because the night is coming. I am the light of the world. And while I'm here, we must do things for God. So that's another story about blind men that we'll probably talk about in just a minute. But you see, there's another kind of blindness that is probably more about what this message is than physical blindness. It's a spiritual kind of blindness that affects us all today. There's no one here today, I don't think, that is absolutely, totally physically blind. But there are a lot of people here today, starting with the person that's sharing this message, that has moments, sometimes a lot of moments, where there is spiritual blindness in our life. And spiritual blindness is worse than physical blindness. For one thing, we're blind to the needs of other people. And while other people are struggling with problems and all kinds of things that they need, we're so busy thinking about our own life that we're blind, and we don't even see sometimes that we're surrounded by people that have needs in their life that we can actually be used by God to help meet. Sometimes we're blind to see the good in other people. We're so much concentrating on ourselves. You know, Jesus told a story about that. He said, now, you seem to be trying to take the speck out of your neighbor's eye. I have a thought. Why don't you take the 2x10 that's in yours? Why don't you take the log out of your own eye, and if you take that out, then you will be able to see the speck in your neighbor's eye. It's pretty obvious that when I carry a board around in my own eye, I'm blind. And I'm absolutely blind to seeing the good in other people and the needs in other people's life. Sometimes we're blind to our own blessings. Sometimes I have to catch myself right in the middle of a gripe session when 2 or 3 things are not going right and do the woe is me thing. Everything's terrible. The whole earth is crashing. The moon's going to come down and destroy us, not realizing how blessed I am. A really powerful effect of being able to see is to see the blessings that we're surrounded with, how blessed we are, how fortunate we are. And for every little thing that we find out that's not particularly going our way, there are many things that are given to us by God that I should be on my knees thanking God for them. How fortunate we are. We're blessed. Sometimes blind to our own blessings. And sometimes we're blind to our own weaknesses. The things in our life that we need to work on, we don't like to, first off, admit them. And certainly, sometimes we really don't like to address them. Let me tell you an interesting story that's part of this that I didn't read. Right before the healing of Bartimaeus, James and John have come up to Jesus and asked him a question. When you set up your kingdom, James and I have been talking about it. We'd like to sit on both sides of you on your kingdom. As a matter of fact, before they said that, they came up to Jesus and said, we want you to do whatever we ask you to do. And Jesus said, okay, ask me. What do you want me to do? And they said, we'd like to sit on each side of you when you go into your kingdom. And Jesus said, well, you don't really know what you're asking. And then eventually Jesus would say, I can't do that. That's not me to say. That's the Father's way to say. But you know what happened right after that? This is right before the healing of the sight of Bartimaeus. The other 10 disciples that heard James and John say that began to fuss with them. And an argument broke out among the disciples. How in the world, James and John, would you have the audacity in front of us to go up and ask Jesus for that and not even include us in anything? You got to love those disciples sometimes. Sometimes we're blind to our own weaknesses, spiritual weaknesses that are going on in our life. Now, you all know that I'm an Andy Griffin buff. And so obviously, I need to talk about the episode where Colonel Harvey is selling his magic elixir. Now, Barney and Andy aren't too happy about the elixir, and they don't think that the elixir fixes what ails you. And when they have to arrest the Ladies' Aid Church Committee for getting what Barney says, getting crocked on the magic elixir and put them into jail, Colonel Harvey's response to that, no one so blind than he who will not see. As if to say, sometimes we choose in our life to be blind and to not see things that we disagree with. The Pharisees and the Jewish leaders were like that. Jesus has some expressions that he uses for them. Blind guides. These two, the Pharisees and the scribes, the leader of the Jewish people, those who are recognized as being the most scriptural adept at explaining the word of anybody there, and Jesus calls them blind guides. He even goes as far as to say it is the blind leading the blind, which insults them very much.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed